What is up, Gamer Army? Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Psycho Gamer. I'm your host, Aubrey, and today we are going to talk about Dragon's Lair. Why are we going to talk about Dragon's Lair? Well, Dragon's Lair was announced quite a while ago by Arcade1up, but we haven't heard anything about it. I think somebody ended up mentioning at one point they took this little cell phone thing away from the actual design of the Arcade1up Dragon's Lair cabinet, which I hadn't seen or hadn't heard, but I'm glad somebody was able to actually clear that up for me. Now they have actually unveiled their pricing for the actual cabinet on the Arcade1up website. Not only that, they are now doing pre-orders. And now if you pre-order it, you're actually going to get it at a little bit of a discounted rate. What's the price going to be? Well, we're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But before we do that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, guys. Turn on those lovely post notifications so you know exactly when I make a brand new video. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Dragon's Lair. All right, welcome back. Like I said, we're going to take a look at this Dragon's Lair cabinet. Now, we're not just going to look at the current Dragon's Lair cabinet. We're also going to take a look at what it looked like before and kind of compare and contrast to how it actually officially looks now. Because I think the other one, while it was nice that they had pictures of it before, I don't think that was the final cabinet. And I think it was more of a 3D render more than anything else. Even though it did look pretty real, it could have been a 3D render. But first thing we're going to do, we're going to switch over into my computer. We're going to take a look at the actual website from Arcade1up and Dragon's Lair. All right, here we are. US online exclusive Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet, $599.99. Now we're going to take a look at the pictures first, then we're going to look at the actual content of the actual cabinet itself. So first picture we're going to see here is your side profile, even though let's start with the very first one. I always like doing this little front 45-degree angle. It looks like they're going with that 3D printed coin slot there. So I don't know if you're going to be able to put coins in it. If it's like any of the other ones, that's a big negative there. You can see they actually have Dirk down here at the very bottom, just kind of raising a sword up there, so he's trying not to die from the dragon. You see the Dragon's Lair on the side. You can see actually the art looks really, really good. I like the sword right in the front there. And you have your nice looking marquee up here that is most likely and is very likely to actually be backlit. Next picture is essentially the same kind of picture, just from the other side. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I used to have like a little cell phone thing kind of right here, which we're going to take a look at the old pictures for the old cabinet. You do have your circular speakers here. Now, the old ones, they actually were kind of squared with the speakers in the middle, so I think they streamlined it a lot more so that it actually is a little nicer looking instead of, you know, a little rugged. A little bit closer look here. You got your sword, because it really is just a game of quick time events is really what it's all about. Are you really controlling much in terms of the game? And no, you're going left, you're going right, you're going up, down, or you're hitting your sword button when they tell you to, or you die a very horrible death while you're trying to rescue Daphne. So you can see the 1-player, 2-player, sword on both sides. Got your headphone jack right there, on, off, volume control. And the actual control deck looks pretty nice. I actually like the colors of everything that they have going on here. And you can see that 3D model right there a little bit better when it comes to your coin slot. There is your side profile, Dragon's Lair. As you can see, there's a lot of screws holding this all together, whereas your previous pictures really didn't show much. It showed a couple screw holes, and that's really about it. This is your other side. And we're back to the original picture that we started with. Now, we're going to go over into another website real quick just to kind of compare how these actually looked. Now, when you look at this particular screen, this was the original look of the cabinet. As you can see, there's like one screw holding it together. And you have Still have the coin slot there. It shows Dragon's Lair 2 Space Ace, instead of just the regular look of Dirk the Daring right there. Now, it's still kept pretty much everything else the same. Now, it does look like this might be a little bit slimmed down, and looks like the Dragon's Lair marquee may actually be pushed in a little bit more. Now, you look at the next picture, there's that cell phone thing I was telling you about that they've gotten rid of for a much larger scoreboard. And you have the speakers with the square grill right there as well. The buttons, it looks like they've changed the button layout too. So if you look, you got the 1 player, 2 players, got your 2 buttons right there. When you actually look at the cabinet here, let's go back to the actual control deck here. You can see the control deck is much, much different. Instead of your one white button on each side, you have it all kind of on the left side there, as you can see. And they also didn't have a picture of the actual headphone jack on there as well. So there are some differences, as you can see. We also look at the actual depth of the actual marquee as well. You can see the actual body style is going to be actually a bit bigger, where it looks like they probably kept this about the same distance. They just brought the wooden pieces forward. Now we look at it a little bit differently. You see how it was much more pronounced. It has a much more pronounced forehead there. And you can see it's a lot better. So I think they probably angled the screen a little more compared to what they had. You can see how much more of an angle, and more like almost like a 45-degree angle you actually had this screen. And it looks like it's standing up just a little bit more with the official look of the actual cabinet. Now we're going to go over what they actually say. Early Dirk discount. Order now for $50 off and an estimated late summer ship date. So if you are planning on getting this, now is the time to get it. Don't wait until it actually comes out and you can't find it, and then you have to go to all the forums saying, like, anybody got one? I want to buy one. It's like, you know, you got to get your fix is really what you got to get. So it ships to the US and Canada only. Don't try to get it for the UK, unfortunately, until they are ready to release it over there, else you will probably get a refund or not get anything. It was stunning then, it's stunning now. Arcade1up was thrilled to release Dragon's Lair in the home arcade form factor, faithfully reproducing its nostalgic gameplay and gorgeous cabinet design. Now I also have to tell you this is not an XL-sized cabinet. This is a regular sized cabinet, as you can see by the actual riser. In 1983, video game designer Rick Dyer and legendary animator Don Bluth captivated the industry with Dragon's Lair. Spectacular game that was unlike anything seen before, so ambitious and so advanced that it mesmerized video game players across generations. It's still a beautiful game, but I don't think it's got a lot of playback or replayability. With its hand-drawn animation, creative levels, and strong dose of sword and sorcery humor, crowds gathered around Dragon's Lair just to catch a glimpse of this. I can't believe I'm playing a cartoon sensation. Really, really cool feature in terms of the year that it was in. Now most of the games you play, they look like they're cartoons. So now relive the magic at home. No quarters required. The Dragon's Lair home arcade cabinet not only features a title game, but also the sequel, Dragon's Lair 2, Time Warp, and the sci-fi adventure themed Space Ace, which I believe they actually canceled the Space Ace cabinet. There wasn't enough people that were as interested in the Space Ace cabinet, from what I understand. All featuring the beloved animation style Don Bluth. And we're going to kind of skip that last one. Features and specifications. Obviously, your 3 games. Custom arcade, it's got the secondary LCD screen, which I think this is one of the first ones that they released that does have a secondary LCD screen that is not a pinball machine. Dual front-facing speakers, light-up marquee, the molded coin door, the custom riser. And assembled dimensions, 60.5 inch. I think that's about a couple inches taller than normal. I think they're normally about 58 and some change. So it probably has to do with that actual riser adding a little bit more height to the actual cabinet itself. So it's actually really, really cool that they are finally giving us some actual information on this. And this is going to look really great in some of your home arcades that you already have. If you haven't already modded a cabinet to look just like this Dragon's Lair cabinet with 60 games or a billion games, you know, one of those MAME cabinets. But of course, you'd have to have a whole lot more buttons than what you're seeing just on this particular cabinet. All right, well, that is going to do it for the content of this video, guys. I appreciate you guys coming out and checking out my video. I know I haven't been as active lately other than my YouTube shorts. I have actually been posting the same videos over on Instagram as well. So if you haven't gone to my Instagram, you just look up The Psycho Gamer. Unfortunately, Psycho Gamer is already taken. Boo. So go check it out. Leave a like, leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe over there as well. I'm not really pushing the Instagram quite as much, but it's a different kind of thing that I'm doing. Just trying to get content out to you guys every day. I know this day in gaming, for some people, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it is kind of cool to know that, hey, these kind of games actually came out on this particular day sometime in history. I mean, you look at The Legend of Zelda over there on the Super Nintendo. It just had its 30th anniversary release just this past week. Go check out one of my shorts. I actually have it right in the title, Legend of Zelda. So, again, though, appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe before you head out. I'm going to try to get a couple more videos out for you guys. Until next time, guys, game on.